Hello, class. Thanks for all that you're doing. You're doing a good work in this class, and so I appreciate it. I just wanted to say thanks first of all. And I know a lot of you have been asking about the synthesis project and what the final PowerPoint will look like, and so that's my purpose today. Of course, right now I'm in the lesson 07, and there's one thing with this lesson 07 in the synthesis project. This week we have a mid-semester inventory, and I wanted to show you some instructions for that. But with your group and however you guys are meeting, take some time to talk about what's going well. Talk about if you want to continue with the same issue or problem. If you want to switch, let me know. Talk about what could be improved. Make new assignments, regroup for the rest of the semester so that you're comfortable. I haven't. I haven't heard too many worries, and so this last one, if necessary, the instructor can make if the instructor can make team changes for individual students. If you feel the need, please contact me if your team needs to change or you need to change, or if you are having problems. Let me know sooner than later so we can make that before next week. But for your submissions for this project, the synthesis mid-semester inventory, come up with two team goals and share those with me. Go ahead and submit them. If for some reason they don't submit, just email them to me and we'll get that graded correctly. For the final, just wanted to remind you of the instructions that you can get to. This is kind of important that you read these expectations and everything. But in the end, your presentation should have 14 to 18 slides. And these 1 through 6 here, and then below here, the final PowerPoint instructions will be my rubric for you guys. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on, and that's what I'll grade you really off of. And so these numbers 1 through 6 kind of repeat themselves again in the final PowerPoint instructions. Okay, the final PowerPoint instructions do include a couple more instructions, so please read both, but this will be how I will grade your final PowerPoint synthesis project here. The title, obviously we should have your title and the names of your group members. Have a clear thesis that identifies the problem, question, or issue. You have a balanced use of text and images or diagrams. At least one original diagram, chart, or illustration that demonstrates your synthesis. Now above in the instructions it talks about the difference between a synthesis and a summary. We don't want you to just put summaries in there, but your own synthesis. At least 10 restoration scripture passages, primarily from the Doctrine and Covenants. The final slide should have a specific call to action and a conclusion. Include at least one article of faith from each of the units in the course. So 1 through 4, 5 through 9, and 10 through 13. So you should have at minimum 3 articles of faith that you use. Number 7, a main message to the world that contains the following: a message of hope that your chosen articles of faith provide. What would you like the world to know about the truths connected with your chosen articles of faith, and a testimony about the truths connected with your chosen article of faith from your group. At the end, there should be a summary slide as so what or therefore what. Why is your message important? What should someone do now that they've heard your message? Again, you'll be creating a PowerPoint, and I will now show you a couple of presentations from last semester. I believe some of these instructions have changed. Therefore, do not use these as the template for your PowerPoint, for your project. I'll show you some things that were done, and some things that I like to see and that I like have you guys do. Mostly for me, I will be focusing on the clarity of your project, the clarity of your thesis, identifying the problem, the clarity of the scriptures that you use and the articles of faith that you use, and the clarity of the connection of those articles of faith and scriptures to your issue that you've chosen, or the problem or the question that you guys have chosen. So let me show you a couple of examples. We'll start with this one here. I think I took the names off, so we'll be good to go. So you can see they did poverty. I love that clarity. It's simple. They started out with a quote from President Uchtdorf, and then they kind of go into the message to the world. This states their thesis and what they would love to have happen, and their message to the world. Oh, sorry. Here's their thesis. This is, I guess, just their message to the world. They put it at the beginning instead of the end, and that's okay. Here's their introduction with their thesis. There's some scriptures there, and again, this is a template, so some of those will look differently for you. But a clear thesis statement. Maybe a little too many words there, but not bad. You can see their articles of faith, and you're welcome to pause us at any time and look at it. If I remember correct, I think they've done a good job at making that connection clear, and why they're using these articles of faith, why they are using the scriptures that they use. That's one thing, again, that I'll reemphasize, is make it clear to me so that I don't have to guess the connection between the article of faith and your issue. Again, we'll just kind of go through those. You can see they used a lot more articles of faith. They just show some pictures there. And then in summary. Okay. Oops, there's their names. That's what I was looking for. Again, with your summary, make sure you follow those instructions to make it clear. So we're going to escape out of this one. I know this is really fast, but you're welcome to look through that a little bit more closely. This one was the religious liberties. So we'll just kind of let you look through that. There's their group thesis, very clear and simple. There's our scripture there. Again, I would make sure that you have it, you make it clear, make the connections clear. So they start with their article of faith, and then kind of, this is their connections that they use, kind of on the next slide. So here we see the article of faith, we see the connection here. Make sure somewhere on the page, either here, or it'd probably be best here, we could put, here's how our article of faith connects with religious liberty. And then a good illustration here. I love the quote. So this is probably a little bit more, even though there's a lot of words here, you can see the connection. Maybe divide that into two. I'm not going to be too picky about what it looks like, but I'll be looking more at the connections. So if I were to do this project or give some feedback, you might have the article of faith, number 1, and then maybe separate these 2 bullet points and still have that article of faith number 1 there, just to here's some of our connections and make it clear for me. Again, some of these will, let's see, go back up here. This has a quote. So if you have a quote in a scripture, I want to see more of your synthesis and how it connects with that article of faith and what you're doing. So I hope that makes sense. So we'll kind of go through these, and again, they use a lot of conference reports. I think I'd like to see maybe a conference report or your scripture and then, or the article of faith, and then how you guys synthesize that to help with that issue. And this is a lot, this becomes more of their synthesis, and so they showed all of their articles of faith and then kind of synthesized it. But their testimony, what should we do, their call of action, and blessings. So you can kind of go through those and see. They've done a pretty good job. Both of these did a pretty good job. And again, I pressed pause and then restart, so I don't know where I left off. But again, what I'd like to see is just the clear connections. So hopefully that helps. You have something to look at. Again, not as a template, but as an example. Thank you and good luck.